Ever went out to start your car and heard this? Well, today on Tech Videos, we're going to go through your complete starting system with voltage drops, so that'll never happen to you. First things first, what is a voltage drop? Well, a voltage drop is something that's going to use electricity, and this is a perfect example. Our battery's starting out with 12 volts, and you can see as I come around here and I go to the light bulb, well, the light bulb's dropping 6 volts. So after that 6 volts, what we have is 6 volts left. So if I come down and I go through the second resistor on the bottom, it drops the other 6 volts. So what's going back to the negative is 0. Voltage used is voltage applied. We have to use all the voltage in this circuit. Our starter system works the same way. What we don't want is we don't want to find some voltage drops in the system in a wire or in switches, places that we don't want it, like a solenoid. So let's take a look at it with the voltmeter. Now this is a starter system, just like your vehicle, laid out on a board. Starts right here at the battery. You got the positive and the negative. Then we come up to an actual starter relay. Relay is nothing more than a high current switch. This thing's drawing a lot of current, so this has to switch it. This is going to go to our ignition switch, so when we turn the key, it's going to engage the solenoid, allow the power to run over to the starter. We also have a neutral safety switch. You know, you can't start your car if it's in gear. That will stop that or open the circuit. But voltage drops, we can do a positive side and a negative side voltage drop. We'll start out with positive. And if we take our DVOM, we go over to volts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take it and go across the positive battery all the way over to where it goes into the starter. That's going to be down there on your motor. Then what happens is we have nothing. So I have to actually put the pressure or put the electromotive force and the amps running through it. So I'm going to go ahead and start it and watch the meter, and I'll show you what's going on. You can see there was about 0.1. There wasn't much voltage drop. There shouldn't be much voltage drop because I'm just going through a wire and a solenoid. If there was a voltage drop, well, we can start isolating it. I can take the negative and I can move it over to the solenoid itself, and I can check that. There's no voltage drop there, just minimal, no problem. Or I can check it. If it was high in that point, we can actually check the solenoid. I can come across from one side to the other, and then we can start it. You can see I have 12 volts there, but once it comes in, you can see there's no voltage drop there. Well, inside a solenoid, you can actually see it. Right here's the wire of windings, and then there's a plunger. So when you hit your starter, it goes up and makes a contact between those two terminals. Now, if those contacts are corroded or loose, you're going to have a voltage drop. You're going to get that clicking sound. Now, you can do the same thing with the negative side. All you want to do is you want to come over to the negative side of the battery, and then you go to the actual frame or the ground mounting, wherever the starter is grounded. I'm just going to go right to it and ground it right there. And then I'm going to do the same thing. You can see about 0.1. This one's in good shape. If you had a voltage drop on the ground side, it may be loose. You may be having some ground issues, even your cables going back to your battery. Positive side, just check your cables. Now, what causes that resistance? Real simple. You can have a burnt wire. This wire right here actually starts to get hot. Hot causes resistance, heat getting into the wire. Or you may have a tendency to do like us. Sometimes you just grab the wire, and when you go to splice it, you jam it in there, and you missed about 7 or 8 strands. That's resistance. Remember, that water flow has to flow through there in the form of current. You can't block it. Length of resistance of the wire, you want to keep it short, and you want to just use good wire practices. Well, if you catch any voltage drops, go ahead and fix them, and your starter system will be in tip-top shape. Now, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all the social media. There's more to come.